Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Lazy Couch Thoughts. Today we're gonna kind of discuss the James Harden saga. In case you didn't see it last night, Harden pretty much publicly quit on the Rockets and on his team. I guess we can kind of start from the beginning. Uh, beginning probably starts in the bubble, but we could start just from this season. So this season doesn't show up to training camp, doesn't show up to practice, doesn't want to do any of that nonsense, right? Shows up just in time for the first game. Shows up to the first game. His Twitter's going wild. He's out of shape. He's fat. He just looks huge. He looks like he put on a ton of weight since the bubble. It's awful. And then he goes out there and balls out. I'm like, okay, like this is weird, right? This is weird. But he's playing well. Can't really be too mad. And then he kind of just stops going to practice. He kind of stops showing up for things on time. And the whole showing up for things on time started a long time ago. As we saw, the Russell Westbrook report came out that said during the bubble, James Harden was always late to like the film view, like watching film. And Westbrook would always scream like, just F him, start without him, just go. And he would start without him. And then when James would walk in, there was sharp and restart. And like, I can see how that'd be annoying as a teammate. If I'm showing up for film that starts at 5:30 and we start working through it, and then at 6:30 you get there and we gotta restart, that'd be pretty annoying. At the end of the day, they're still not James Harden. He's still a superstar. He can do whatever he wants. But I could definitely see how that would get annoying. I could definitely see how there would be no chemistry in the locker room, and there would be a cancer. So you fast forward, the Rockets really aren't winning games, which is weird because Harden's balling out, Christian Wood's balling out. John Wall's playing really well, especially for a guy that's coming off the amount of surgeries and injuries that he has. And then last night, James Harden pretty much publicly quit on that team. He said like, yeah, I feel like my time here is done. I feel like this is unsalvageable. And he was like, we don't have any chemistry. We don't play well together. Da 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 da. These guys just aren't that good. Da da da. Basically, just dogging everybody out, saying like, hey, like I'm ready to go. I think it's funny because everything that's wrong with the Rockets and their culture is because of you, bro. You're the one that made them they built the entire thing around you. And then whenever it failed, which, I mean, you came very close. Like, you were a game away. You were up 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals during the middle, against the Warriors during the middle of their legacy. But, bro, you came short. You fell short. You sucked in a lot of those games. In a lot of those playoff games, you were bad. And that's a lazy narrative, of course, just like most narratives are. But doesn't change the fact that in a lot of crucial games, the Rockets kind of just didn't shoot the ball well. And whenever your whole team is based on knocking down threes, taking threes and shooting open threes and knocking them down, that's the Rockets strategy. We have to be able to hit our shots. But whenever they don't hit their shots and they lose, because they can't go any other way, that entire team is built around three-point shooting. Three-point shooting, get the ball to James, let's go run ISO, let's run ISO all game long. And he built that team around him, and then now that the writing's on the wall, he's like, I'm out, trade me. I get he tried to do it during the offseason, but the Rockets didn't get anything that they wanted. Like, they couldn't find any good trade packages. For some reason, the Heat wouldn't come off of Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero for James Harden, there you go. Like, now let's go win a championship. But, I don't know. I definitely understand James being like, look, like, I've been asking for a trade. Like, just trade me. I understand that. But at the same time, the team really they're not really obligated to trade you. They're also not obligated to trade you when you want. Here's my problem. I have a problem with the people that have a problem with this, but don't have a problem with the Anthony Davis stuff from a couple years ago with the Pelicans. It's very similar stuff. So the difference is Anthony Davis faked a lot of injuries and didn't show up to games for like a full half of season over this. At least Harden's still out there playing. You know, at least Harden's not dogging out the city on his way out and saying that's all, folks, and doing all kinds of stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, this is kind of like the toxic superstar mantra that we've been hearing about, the AAU culture. But I don't know, I think players are finally starting to understand how much weight they hold and how much power they really do have, and they're starting to exploit it. So I'm curious to see how the owners respond and kind of take away this power, right? Because you know it's coming. I like the fact that the players realize that they have the power, but I also hate the fact that people are acting like this. Like, you're a grown up, you're a grown man. Like, you're an adult. Like, let's act like one here. You don't have to dog out other men who are just trying to earn a living, saying like, oh, my teammates suck and we have no chemistry. You don't have to say that, man. But this whole saga is just terrible. I don't understand why the Houston owner wouldn't sit down with him and say, look, just show up to the games, keep your mouth shut. I won't make you talk to the media, but just play well for a few games to where we can get the price tag for your trade a little higher, and then you're on. Like, we don't want you here. But the Rockets really do need to trade him away because they need to rebuild. They need to try and rebuild this culture and this city and this team, because they're not going to win again with James. And if they do, there's going to be an overhaul, and I can't see it being in these next couple years. But yeah, I could definitely see them trading James Harden soon now. And I can definitely see PJ Tucker going. And then I could see Christian Wood and John Wall, them running it, and Houston saying, let's see what we have. And then let's reevaluate next offseason. But hopefully they can get some young pieces and some picks back for those two players. But anyways, that's pretty much going to do it for today. Leave your comments below about the entire James Harden thing. I definitely don't feel bad for the dude who just didn't show up for training camp because he was out partying during a pandemic. Personally, I don't really feel bad for him, especially I hate the he's like, I hate the culture here. Well, you created it. You're look in the mirror. You're the one that said, hey, this is gonna be our culture. It's all really stupid. Like, it's like, man, it's like God saying, like, man, I hate the world. Who would do this? Like, oh, it's you, bro. Like, like a clockmaker coming up. Man, this clock sucks. Who would ever make this? Oh, it was you. You built this. Or an engineer. You get the point. Like, it's just you create something and say like, oh, this sucks. Who did that? Try and put it on someone else. But anyways, that's going to do it for today. I'll see you guys Friday. And happy playoffs. Peace.